When I worked at a residential facility for boys a few years back, I learned that I could give them a lot of orders with a smile on my face. These were boys who didn't oftentimes respect authority, and they didn't like to be told what to do. A lot of the residential counselors that I worked with ended up overexerting their authority by raising their voices, yelling, attempting to get the boys to fear them in order to get them to do what they wanted them to do. And this worked a lot of times. The boys did fear them, and a lot of times the boys did do what the counselors wanted them to do, but I think it did more harm than good. It taught the boys that in order to get what you want, you need to become angry and exert authority. Plus, when it didn't work, I think it led to some situations that could have been avoided. Instead, I tried to respond with gentleness. I tried to teach the boys that I care about them. And I think it oftentimes led to them exerting their authority more, but I think it also taught them that we should not respond with anger, but with gentleness. And usually it worked pretty well. The boys did see that I cared about them, not just that I wanted them to behave a certain way. There were certainly days that I didn't do this perfectly, and there were certainly days that the outcome didn't exactly go the way I planned. But I hopefully taught the boys that when things don't go our way, we don't respond out of anger. We respond out of gentleness and love. Much of the book of Proverbs contains short, good, general advice. It doesn't always apply to every situation, and the promises made aren't always things that we can count on. But it's general advice that we're to follow, and it tells us what we can generally expect when we take that advice. The advice that Proverbs 15:1 gives is that a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. But even more than giving us advice to follow, the book of Proverbs actually points us to Jesus Christ. Certainly we should try to follow all the advice in the book of Proverbs, but the main message is that we don't measure up, but that Jesus Christ is perfect. When you think about it this way, you realize that Jesus Christ is the gentle answer that turns away wrath. When God saw our sin, He had every right to punish us in His wrath, because that's exactly what our sin deserves. But instead, God provided Jesus Christ, born in a manger, who would take away our sin. So when we put this verse into practice, we're actually reflecting God's love for us in sending us His Son. What an incredibly awesome privilege. So my question for you today is more of a challenge. Do you think you have what it takes to give a soft, gentle answer, even in the midst of an argument? It's tough. But with the Holy Spirit inside of you, I'm confident that you can reflect the love that God shows you toward others. God bless you, and see you tomorrow.